What up, y'all? It's Malcolm here for anyhiphop.com. I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Leedz. What's good, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you been?
Good.
This is my first time interviewing, man. This is special, you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
We're at the Middle East downstairs. We got stickers in the background and shit, you know what I'm saying? It's real, like, cozy, you know what I'm saying?
Underground and grimy.
At the same time, you know what I'm saying? So, Leedz, man, let's just get into the project, man. The Write-Off Volume 4.
Yeah, basically, it was a series that we released. I started probably about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity for me to just kind of put Boston artists out there. At the beginning, it was a lot of my own personal artists. It was like making exclusive songs. But basically with this one, what we tried to do is we tried to just get, an all-around scene involved, and not necessarily songs I record, but more like the songs that everyone's just kind of doing in Boston. There's a lot of artists out there that wasn't able to get everybody, but for the most part, I reached out to everyone I immediately knew, and we got the project going. And
yeah, man, how's it sounding, man? Are you excited?
Yeah, it sounded good. I mean, when you record and you record and you record and you're working on the project and you're working on the project, it gets redundant after a while, no matter how good it is. So it was like, I finished it about a month ago and I let it sit, and now, next week, this Saturday, will probably be late by the time this thing comes out. But it'll already be out there, so you got to go get it. It was good to get it nice, fresh. Recording music, besides being a promoter, is something I've always loved to do. Mm-hmm. So this is a good thing to go back to that.
Yeah. So how hands-on are you with the recording the music?
Very hands-on for a while. Like, I used to run a studio over at Sanctum Sound, and I managed artists, so I would record from scratch.
Wow.
So I'd be there for the whole process, the recording, the ideas, the mixing, everything. And when I got the booking agent gig at the Middle East, it took away that time. So I haven't had time to do it like I used to. But this was good to get back to that, because I do really love doing that.
Yeah. So who are some of the favorite artists on the project that you just can't wait for people to hear their songs?
Well, I love obviously Slane's my boy.
Yeah.
Me and him go way back. I used to manage Slane actually when he first started.
I didn't know that.
We came up together. Both of our careers were very parallel at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Obviously Right Hook is one of my main artists I manage too.
Yep.
So his new material is coming out soon. And it's crazy. It's one of the best projects I've ever worked on from scratch.
Dope. Yep.
Let's see, some Dutch Rebel stuff on there. Peter Parker got involved. Was, close friend of mine from childhood. He's out in Baltimore now, but he brought a lot of his connects to this project with Mad Child, a couple other artists that he's been working with down there in D.C. And he had, when me and him come together, it's like he brings his side and I bring my side, and we just kind of mesh, and it's a beautiful thing. And it's a good project, and we really work well together. We always had, So that, is an array of different artists on there, and an array of different connections on there as well, too. So we just kind of put them together,
Dope, man. You got the release party for that soon?
Yep. We got September 25th. Maybe this interview is out before then. Maybe it's after.
Definitely
maybe you missed it,
be.
or maybe you're going, or maybe you're not going.
They ain't got shit to do. It better be out soon.
But yeah, it's Slane's on there on the show. Right Hook, obviously. Jason. I could just read off all the names that are on there, but I don't have the flyer in front of me, and there's way too many going on. So.
Let me ask you a question. How have you seen the Boston hip-hop culture? Because I will say you're an OG now, Leedz, right? You would say that?
Well, yeah,
I don't want you. You don't want to admit it, but you've seen a lot of different.
I always ask people, what is your definition of an OG?
Right.
Someone that's been around a while.
No, not even just somebody that's experienced and knows the scene. That's what I was saying.
My definition of an OG is someone who's been through the ringer and back.
Okay.
And that's definitely me. Where do I see the scene now?
Yeah, how have you seen it change and throughout the years, and what do you think of it now?
Basically, the way I see the scene is Boston scene is, since I've started, has always been in a state of development.
Yeah.
It's an undeveloped market, it's an undeveloped scene, and there's not a lot of opportunities for a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Whose fault is that? Why it's like that? These are all unknowns that I don't think anyone's really been able to put their finger on.
Yeah.
We've seen artists come out of here, and it's really the fans that decide the scene, I'd like to say there's a bunch of people out there pushing the button, but I don't think so, In the end of the day, the fans decide what's going on, and unfortunately, whether you like it or not, they're never wrong, because they dictate what's popular.
True.
So, I see it as a thing that's always growing. I've seen with Slane's career, him take it to another level that I didn't see was possible for a while.
Yeah.
And he's been able to have a prosperous career and been a success. Other artists, obviously Ed O.G. back in the day. And and you got like 7L and Esoteric, and you got a lot of people that have came through and put their mark on the scene. It's something that's always changing, and music is always changing. That's the beauty of it. You don't like it, you don't like the way things are going. It's probably going to change tomorrow. So or it might go backwards. You never know. But it's I
know this guy was that funny, man. You got jokes over there.
I got jokes for days. I think it's in a positive direction. And if for the people that think it's in a negative direction, I guess ask yourself, what am I doing for the scene? Instead of being like, what am I taking away from the scene? What can I get? What can I give? And when you give, you get. So it's a pretty simple thing, philosophy. Lately in my career, I've been trying to give back to the scene. This is kind of with this project. Yeah. As I've been busy, and this is a good way for me to give back. And I think everyone's always, it's tough for a whole bunch of people to get along. It's when you're just dealing with a bunch of crazy rappers, crazy producers, crazy egos. It's tough. But what else are we gonna do? Get a desk job. Make the best of it. Get a desk job, 9 to 5. I can't do that.
That's dope, though. So let me ask. Everybody's asking me this question, right? A lot of upcoming rappers. It's not too crazy, but how do you get on the bill for a Leedz show, man? How can you open up for some of these big artists that come through the city?
I mean, that's a very commonly asked question,
right?
And there's all different ways. Every show is different. Let me explain that. Every show is different. There is no set format to this. When I first started, doing shows, I tried to do the shows from a creative standpoint. Like creatively, this act fits, this act is perfect, this one's doing something, and unfortunately, it didn't always work that way. A lot of them failed financially. I can tell you that I cleaned out my life savings. It wasn't a lot, but it was my savings doing it. And so I had to find a format that works. Some people agree with it, some people don't, but each show is different. And basically, I had to instigate the way the shows work as pure survival as a business. If those tactics and those ways of booking artists for shows is not a pure survival, and that's a business model. If you're an artist and you want to hit me up, you can always email. We can always discuss the show and what you can do and what can't be done. You know what I mean? So it's different every time. I wish I could say there's one thing. The best way, though, is to contact me, email me, go to leedzedutainment.com, and we go from there.
That's it, man. Leedz, you got any questions for me,
man?
Yeah.
What happened with 88.9, man? This is where we turn the interview around, right?
So thanks for tuning in to Any Hip Hop. This is Leedz right here. I'll see y'all next time.
Later.
Peace.
This is Leedz with Leedz Edutainment, Boston, Massachusetts, and you're watching NEHipHop.com.